We're talking about a rumor. I'm not going to call it a leak. I think this is a rumor. But there is a rumor out there that a scene includes Kylo Ren with a square-like object walking on a foresty planet.
Jungle
planet. And somehow the Emperor appears. And we're not quite sure specifically how, according to this rumor, the Emperor appears. But it's this notion that you're going to have this connectivity with the sequel trilogy that you've had the previous two trilogies, because Palpatine is in every movie but A New Hope. I don't think he's even referenced in A New Hope. But that would be a great way to link them all together. And we talked about how JJ needs to really tie this up with Episode 9. We want to talk about, let's just go with this. It's a rumor. This isn't confirmed yet, but do we truly think that Palpatine will be in this movie? And if so, do you buy this rumor? Let's start with Jesse.
I think it's plausible. Okay, so you mentioned a cube-like object, supposedly, that he's holding. That could be a Sith holocron.
But that doesn't match the description of the Sith holocron, though, right?
It doesn't necessarily. Holocrons were cube-shaped, so maybe.
I thought they were like pyramid-shaped. I thought the Sith holocrons were pyramid-shaped.
Well, may not. That's the thing is.
Is the cube a Jedi? Is that the difference? Is like a cube maybe a Jedi holocron that he has?
We've never seen a holocron in a movie. They've always come from the other mediums, the comics, the novels.
We saw a couple of them from Rebels and everything, but keep this in mind. When Palpatine, Order 66, he had the Jedi Temple ransacked, and that included the vault that contained numerous Jedi holocrons. Who's to say he didn't utilize these for whatever purposes? So it's not that it's there, why would you not use this technology kind of thing?
We've kind of been talking about the idea of Palpatine maybe being the puppeteer behind the scenes with Snoke and such before.
I would love that, 100%.
You'd be okay. Go dive into that. Why are you okay with Emperor showing up if he does show up in Episode 9?
This is the last of 9 movies in the Skywalker saga. And every movie, it seems we have some other bad guy. We have General Grievous. We have Count Dooku. We have not Mace Windu.
But he could be a villain depending on your take.
Darth Maul. Maul's the word I was looking for. So throughout all of these bad guys, through all of the different movies, we have one constant in the first 6, and that was Palpatine being the puppeteer.
Right.
And I would love it if he comes back and he knew he was going to die. He's figured out that life and death thing from his Sith master, and now he's been pulling the strings behind the First Order, maybe from death, maybe from one of these other planes of existence that we've learned about. But ultimately, he should be the big bad guy, or even Darth Plagueis should be the big bad guy who we defeat at the end of this movie, which would put a nice seal on the Skywalker saga, and it would put a nice seal on the bad guy, the overarching villains, for these 9 movies and 40 years of Star Wars.
But what do you say to the folks that are arguing, really, you're going to go back to Palpatine again after you went to Starkiller Base, which was basically a Death Star again? You had, it's
it kind of fits the motive. We know that Palpatine loves great big super weapons that are planet or moon-sized. So it's not necessarily that far of a stretch.
And that is including the rumor. I don't know if I touched on that yet, but there's like some super weapon hinted at, which that's kind of like the Star Wars mode. There's rebels, there's bad guys, there's a super weapon, got to go destroy the super weapon. Anything else that we want to touch on with the Emperor? I really think, how confident are we that we're going to get the Emperor in Episode 9? Like a percentage of comfort that we're going to get him?
I'm fairly like I wouldn't mind having it in, like personally I wouldn't mind having it in there. It actually kind of coincides with the old EU with the novels and everything. For a long time, Palpatine and the EU, he basically had clones of himself that he would via the Force actually transfer his soul or his essence into those clones, and they.
Yeah, I don't buy that old stuff. That's why I'm glad it's gone.
I don't think we're gonna get something like that, but it's just it wasn't terrible in the EU.
With everything Abrams has to wrap up in this next movie, I don't expect Palpatine to have a big role. It'd be cool, but I don't expect it. I could very much see him being a holocron where he's giving some sort of advice. Maybe whether he knew it or not, to Kylo Ren,
Yeah.
who's now kind of the big bad guy.
I'm okay with like part of this being part of the contingency plan we kind of see play out after Return of the Jedi with Battlefront 2, that campaign. Like I'm okay if it's part of that, but I guess that's where I'm at. I think it's gonna be some kind of like hologram. I don't think we're gonna get physically Palpatine back in the robes.
Yeah, you mentioned Battlefront 2 and the campaign. There's basically the Red Messenger, and it's basically a recording of that Palpatine has made to deliver to the high-end Imperial officers and everything. This is the thing, is if you play through all that, it's like, well, the First Order is interested in anything that deals with the old Empire and Imperial society, so it just could be something that, okay, well, Kylo went searching for some, technology or some extra resources.
I think he presses a button and the entire Star Wars galaxy blows up. You just can't go in the future beyond Episode 9 in Star Wars. I think that's what Disney's going to do. What do you think about Emperor Palpatine possibly being in Episode 9 that comes out December 2019? Let us know down in the comments below.